This is Villa View. Coming up, the Champions League dream is over. We're here off Martin O'Neill and we look ahead to the season finale against Blackburn on Sunday. Hello and welcome to this week's Villa View. I'm Andy Walker. I'm joined in our studio today by our man at the Villa, Matt Kendrick. Welcome, Matt.
Hi there.
He was at Eastlands on Saturday and it ended in bitter disappointment for Villa, didn't it?
Yeah, it certainly did. I think it was just one step too far in the end. Villa had done tremendously well to get themselves back in a position where they were outside contenders. But it was the story of the season in a way. When Villa were required to try and break down Manchester City, they just didn't have enough in their weaponry. Might have been a different story had John Carews strike against the bar when the game was poised at 1-1. If that had gone in, that would give Villa a timely boost and maybe enough to go on and win the game. But the way that Manchester City came back in on the stroke of half-time with two quick goals kind of knocked the stuffing out of Villa and they were unable to recover, sadly.
And you said that obviously this season now, you reflect on it, obviously they've effectively finished empty-handed. OK, they qualified for the Europa League, but there's no silverware yet again, no place in Champions League. But how do you reflect this? Do you reflect it as a good season or a season of disappointment?
I think the whole of the Villa fan base at the moment is split. It's kind of a bit schizophrenic, really. Half of them will argue, yes, Villa have accumulated more points than they've done since they were runners-up in the Premier League in 1993, so therefore it must be a season of progress. They'd been to Wembley for the first time in 10 years. They've been there twice in a matter of months in the Carling Cup final and the FA Cup semi-final. Again, that suggests a sign of progress. Then on the flip side, obviously, it looks like they're destined to finish sixth again, which will be their third successive season. And the manager has been here 4 years and he still hasn't got a trophy or anything, any silverware or anything tangible to show for the progress. So it's an awkward one. I personally would just kind of fall onto the side, yes, they've made steady progress, but I personally am not convinced that progress is enough.
So it's been small steps rather than the giant stride that's probably needed for the club.
Yeah.
Well, we had the chance to catch up with Martin O'Neill following that defeat at Eastlands on Saturday.
Something tangible to it, like everything else. It would be nice to have said, "This is it. You've actually won this." And we went very, very close. And we're in the semi-final against Chelsea in the FA Cup. What do you think? I mean, it's been a great all season, but we'll have to really sit down and just and analyse and see if for us to compete next season, we have to get strong. And it really is as simple as that. We have to try and get stronger because our competitors are, in the boys who are up there, will probably get very, very strong. That's my view.
We also had the opportunity to hear from a disappointed Villa dressing room.
We maybe bit of our own doing really. With the goals, we were quite comfortable. They were playing a lot of football in front of us first half, not really creating too much, and we sort of shot ourselves in the foot really, which is disappointing. Great, we could have gone 2-up, and especially after they just scored John it in the crossbar. If they go in, it's a different game. But like you say, we are disappointed that we sort of contributed to our own downfall, if you like. Yeah, it was. The manager said, try and be patient, keep the ball, and that's what we did. But they defended very well and kept us down to little chances second half, like again, which is disappointing. But so we got one game to go, and we're sure we can get 3 points there.
Well, Matt, we heard from Villa boss Martin O'Neill a little while ago. That leads us on to one of our viewers' questions this week. It's Peter from Droitwich. He's wondering about these talks that are planned with Villa owner Randy Lerner. I mean, they've been dubbed as showdown or crunch talks. He's wondering, what do you believe will be the general gist of that conversation?
Well, the manager alluded to the fact that the chairman was flying over from America for the final game of the season this weekend against Blackburn. And during the course of the chairman's visit, he said that they would catch up and talk. I find it, although we've known that they were going to talk at the end of the season, it just seems to have kind of suddenly be upon us. It's imminent now, these talks. Probably for the good of the club, really. I think it's an issue that's refused to go away in the last 5 or 6 weeks, and it needs putting to bed straight away. I personally think the general gist will be the manager will want spelt out exactly what kind of finances will be at his disposal during the summer. He's admitted several times that Villa do need to get stronger, and I think it'll be interesting to know whether the chairman's going to make fresh funds available or whether the chairman will say, well, we've given you a significant amount of money before that you've spent on very good players, but you also spent on fringe players that aren't being used. You may need to go and sell these players to generate the cash yourself. And that I think is where they will either reach an agreement or that's where the conflict will continue.
Well, of course, Matt, the season isn't over yet. There's still the season finale against Blackburn at Villa Park to come up on Sunday. And it'll be the fifth time that the two teams have met each other this season.
Yeah, it certainly will. Let's hope it's another 6-4. It's still important, I think, for Villa to end the season on a high, both in terms of sending the support home for the summer in good spirits. I mean, the Villa support, other than very rare outbreaks of minor frustration, have been fantastic for the team home and away this season. So it's important that they have a victory to cheer. Also, I think it's important that they still finish as high up that league as possible. I mean, it looks like it's going to be sixth, but it'll obviously have a bearing on what stage they enter the Europa League, and therefore how much of a break they have over the summer before they're called into European action again.
Okay, Matt, well, thanks for joining us today, and thank you for watching. And be sure to log on at the same time next week, where Matt Kendrick will be casting his eye over the season as a whole. Thanks, and we'll see you then.